Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shots by Pat, and this is my YouTube channel in which I do weekend vlogs. I talk about sneakers, photography stuff, tech things. If you're new to the channel, this is all that I talk about. So welcome back. So as we are winding down 2023 and we're going into 2024, I figured what a better time than now than to talk about what's in my camera bag for 2024. You saw my travel edition earlier in the year, but going into 2024, I'm making a few small changes for when I'm doing big production. So in this video, we will discuss what's in my camera bag for 2024. Okay, so starting up first is the bag itself. This is the PGYTech One Mo bag. It is a perfect bag. I took it with me to Houston and I showed it off. Everything that I had with me inside the bag. It opens up from the back. You've seen this bag before. No need to really go into it. I can put this right here for if I need to, if I'm traveling with a pulley. A lot of things I can do with this bag. Again, this is PGYTech, and PGYTech is one of the brands that I use a lot. I use more than any other brand, between PGYTech and a few others. So in this video, you'll see a few others that I use. Next up is the camera itself. I'm using the Nikon D850. Now, a lot of people are using mirrorless. It's fine. I'm still a DSLR shooter. I love my Nikon D850. This is my workhorse. This is my tank. This is everything that I need to do all high production shoots. It shoots 4K and it's valuably like my favorite camera. I've had this for quite a long time and it's one of the cameras that I use pretty much for everything. So I just love using this camera. And attached to it is the lens of choice, is the Nikon 24-70. This is the 2.8. Gets no better than this. Honestly, it gets no better than this. This camera and this lens combination is one of my favorite lens and camera combinations. Now, I'm not saying that I don't use mirrorless, because mirrorless is the way of the future, and I do have a mirrorless camera that I keep with me. So I'm going to show that off in a second. But again, for when I'm doing majority of my work, it's going to be the 24-70 with the f2.8. And I get a lot of things done with this lens and this camera combination. Next up is my mirrorless camera. It is my Nikon Z5. This is my mirrorless camera of choice. This is the camera that I use when I'm not using the D850, when the D850 is on the side and I need to do a quick run and gun type of shoot for something, but that's a part of the shoot. So if I'm, put the D850 to the side, but it was something that I want to capture, maybe a quick portrait, then I use this. Because attached to this is the Viltrox 85mm 1.8Z. This lens is fire. Like, I love this lens. It is probably my favorite mirrorless lens that I own. And you see how big and gaudy this joint is? Like, it is huge. It is a professional lens. So I use this when I'm doing portraits. Whenever I have a big setup, I use this as my secondary camera in case the D850, goes bad. Now, the D850 is 48 megapixels. This one is 24, so it's a big difference. But with the mirrorless cameras, you just know what you're going to get. So this one is my secondary camera that I use whenever the D850 is, I'm gonna put it to the side or if I wanna do something else. Next up is this little guy. This is the TT Artisan 32mm f2.8. This is also a mirrorless lens. I use this lens for when I wanna do rather like bigger things than with the 85mm, if I want a little wider angle instead of the close-up that the 85mm does. So I bought this to go with my Nikon Z30, which is what I use to film these YouTube videos. But when I realized that I needed something much wider than that, and I'm getting the 16 to 50mm for the Z30, I decided to just keep this in my camera bag to use along with the Z5. It's a perfect companion if I want to do wider shots or if I want to get bigger shots than what I use with the 85mm. So this one comes in handy for that reason alone. And I love using this lens. It's really nice, really crisp. If you go over to Shots by Pat Film, also Shots by Pat, you would see some work that I've done using this lens. Next up is my Godox X1T trigger. So this trigger comes with me whenever if I'm on set and I'm using soft boxes and I'm using bigger lights and I need a trigger. I can use the trigger on the other flashes that I own, but this is the trigger of choice. Now, if I don't remember to bring my X1T, then I'll have something else with me that'll make sure I trigger the lights that I need, because you don't want to be on set and then you don't have the lights or you don't have the remote to trigger your lights. That's happened to me once or twice before. Luckily, the D850 is a good low light camera, so I'm not missing out as much if I don't have the trigger. But at the end of the day, you want to use your lighting, because lighting is the key to the success of all cameras and photography. Next up are my memory card cases. This one in particular is the PGY Tech one that holds your cameras, that hold your memory cards, but also is USB-C, and I can attach this to any device that I own that has USB-C, and I can edit on the go. I can transfer the photos right away. And then these two are just general, regular US memory cards that I got from Amazon. I got a whole bunch. This is for the bigger, these are the ones that come for the adapters that I have the micro SD, and this one is for the regular memory cards. We're almost done. Next up is my iPad Pro. This is the one from 2019, if I'm not mistaken. It's dead right now because I didn't charge it. Like, hold on. Oh. It turned on. But yeah, I carry this with me, and so this is USB-C. This is USB-C, and what I do is once I have this PGY Tech, plug it right in. It works perfectly. I'm able to transfer photos, edit on the go, and everything that I need to do at the time. So that works out perfectly for me. And so I love my 2019 iPad Pro. It's what I just use if I'm on a go, if I'm on a flight, just need to edit real quick. Pretty much all I do when I'm doing that. So last but not least, no, we're not last yet. It's not last yet. Rechargeable batteries. So I bring the rechargeable batteries with me whenever I'm using a regular flash, a hot shoe flash, but also the X1T trigger takes AA batteries. So if I need to switch the batteries out for whatever reason, these last a long time here anyway, because you're not always using it, then I have this battery case for AA batteries that I carry with me. Now for the small miscellaneous things, not really too miscellaneous, but miscellaneous enough is my Flashpoint and my Godox. These are the camera flashes that I use for remote photography, like remote lighting. Put these into the Bowens mount. They fit right in perfectly, and then I just shoot with them. This is what I use. They flash. It goes off with the trigger, the Godox X1T trigger. They flash. They go off. Nothing left to be said about that. So that's what I carry with me on big production shoots. So that's pretty much it, all that I bring with me on a regular shoot in which I'm going through a big production, whether it be a personal photo shoot, a photo shoot for a big company, weddings, pretty much everything that you see right here. That's usually what I carry with me on a day-to-day on any photo shoot that pretty much lives in the camera bag, or if it's not in the camera bag, it's in the case. But for the most part, this is what I bring with me on majority of my shoots. So with that being said, this is your boy Shots by Pat. Weekend Vlog is gonna come back in 2024. Just make sure you guys, that's my favorite term, pay attention to the page. Like, subscribe, give me a follow. And with that being said, enjoy your 2024 and keep creating. Peace.